One of the greatest evidences that you have truly believed in Christ unto salvation is that God has begun a good work of sanctification in you. He works and works and works to make you holy. Now let me ask you, is that a reality in your life? Those who love the world do not have the love of the Father. Then I will sprinkle clean water on you, and you will be clean. I will cleanse you from all your filthiness and from all your idols. Moreover, I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit within you, and I will remove the heart of stone from your flesh and give you a heart of flesh. I will put my spirit within you and cause you to walk in my statutes, and you will be careful to observe my ordinances. They would truly believe God, and they would truly be transformed by His power, by the work of the Spirit. By His power, by the work of the Spirit. Can I honestly see God doing these things in me? In America, in typical American contemporary evangelicalism, what do we have? I'll tell you what we have. We have a great majority of the people in America claiming to be Christian, and they live like devils. But because they claim to be Christian and they identify themselves with Christ and yet live like devils, God's name is not praised because of them. God's name is blasphemed because of them. But the question comes down, does everybody in America who says they're Christian, are they Christian? Absolutely not. Jesus said, you will know them by their fruits. And herein is the problem. When a church lowers the standard of the gospel in order to get more people to come in, when a church does not preach on holiness and what it means to be truly converted, then Christianity in the church fills up with a lot of ungodly people, and because of their actions, the unbelieving world blasphemes the name of God. But what we need to understand is that the people who claim to know Christ and yet live in a way that contradict the word of Christ and the character of Christ, they are not Christian.
Here's another important thing we have to keep an eye on. Hypocrisy. Hypocrisy. Lukewarmness and hypocrisy, those are spirits. Spirits of the flesh, maybe. Also intermixed with spiritual entities that magnify that in your flesh, working together against you. The spirit of sin, the spirit of fallen angels and demons, all working together to keep me in this state of hypocrisy and lukewarmness. These are enemies. These are our enemies, more than, the government. Hypocrisy. We got to keep an eye on that in us. We've got to be honest about evaluating ourselves. I think the big thing is, am I really giving up this world, or is there something I still want in this world? Because if I want something in this world, I'm going to justify what I'm doing. I'm going to make light of it. I'm going to pretend and excuse many things. I'm not going to be hard on myself. I'm not going to be judgmental. I'm not going to put the effort of omitting it out of my life because I actually want that in my life. I think some of us are trapped in carnality because we don't even know that we're in that condition. Many people don't even know. They've gotten so calloused, it's been so long, that now they can't even see that that is the case. This is a danger of not repenting quickly, of staying in that condition too long, staying in lukewarmness too long to where you don't even grieve over it anymore, speaking foolishly and watching nonsense on TV and doing things that at first bothered you, but now it doesn't bother you anymore. So we have to constantly watch out for that.
We are saved by faith alone. We are not saved by works. But what you need to understand is that a person who has been truly saved has been born again. They have become a new creature. God has done a tremendous work in them to demonstrate His power. He has made them into new creatures with new affections, new desires to serve Christ and to be holy. Has He done that to you? Let me ask you a question. Do you look at the world and long to be like the world, act like the world, talk like the world, dress like the world, have the world's respect and the world's esteem? If you're that way, you ought to be terrified, because that just could be evidence that God has not done a work in you. If God's power cannot be seen in your life, leading you to greater and greater holiness, then maybe there is no power of God in your life.
Let's hear that again.
If God's power cannot be seen in your life, if God's power cannot be seen in your life, leading you to greater and greater holiness, then maybe there is no power of God in your life.
Greater and greater holiness unto spiritual perfection. And the people out there who don't believe all things are possible through Christ have no chance of ever experiencing this born-again breakthrough. The baby steps of more and more holiness is being grounded and rooted in holiness. You've got to start in holiness to begin with, which means you have to believe that all things are possible through Christ, including putting down all of your sin. That is the starting point idea. That's the first thing I learn, not the ability to conquer it all yet. But the first thing I learn is that I can conquer it. When you come to Jesus, we have to come to Jesus knowing victory is possible.